What's up, everybody? Flynn here, playing more Deadly Premonition. I'm actually going to adjust the microphone a little bit, get a little bit closer to me so you can hear my dulcet tones. Hello. Yeah, we're back at it. I imagine once we go outside, we'll start getting more, conversations and new conversations since this is a new chapter. So it might take me a second to find time to talk, but there is some news regarding Deadly Premonition 2 in general. It's bad news and good news. So we'll see what happens once we walk outside. We'll see. We'll wait until we get a chance to unpack. But Sweary's been tweeting. I forget we have a massive loading screen to get through, so I might start the conversation. I believe I was correct in that Professor R is a transgender character, which again is interesting because it's representation, and you don't see trans representation in a lot of like big name video games. Not that Deadly Premonition is going to be winning any Webbies or whatever they're called. No, the Webbies are for YouTube. Okay, cutscene time. It's the man on campus.
How's your mama?
Like how his eye patch is vibrating differently. Her mom has to be a Clarkson.
So, you're that hotshot FBI agent I keep hearing about.
And who might you be?
I came to claim the body of my daughter. My daughter, who was murdered in a holding cell after you detained her yesterday.
In case you missed previously on P.J. Clarkson. Philip J. Clarkson, to be specific.
Zach, I wasn't expecting to run into the final boss this early. You must be the head of the Clarkson
I am betting he's not the final boss.
P.J. Clarkson.
I bet he's the George of this game.
And you've come to claim the body of Galena Clarkson, whose dismembered corpse was found early this morning. Is that correct? Where did you learn that Galena had been murdered? Zach and I just learned of the news ourselves.
This is Luke Corey. And I am P.J. Clarkson. There ain't a single thing I don't know about this town.
I see. So then you must also know about the Severed Roots ritual. I have a question for you, Philip. We suspect that Galena was murdered by someone from the Clarkson family. Have you given that possibility any consideration?
Listen up, you FBI piece of shit. You better watch your manners around my pa.
Shut up, Sting.
But, sir. My bad, sir.
I'll have you know I once had 3 children.
At once?
But I must not have raised them very well. Because my son and my eldest daughter both ran away and never came back to me. The only one who stayed by my side was my second daughter, Galena. Then she done married Daniel here into the family, presented me with both an heir and a granddaughter. It seemed for a while as if things were finally starting to calm down. Then, someone corrupted both Galena and Lise. I lost everything.
They're also dead. That
Aside
sucks
from
too.
my shit-heeled
I
son-in-law.
love that he just hates Dan. Oh, Danny's so sad. I don't
You
care, he's a jerk,
understand me,
but...
FBI.
Galena's death is nothing but a loss for the Clarkson family.
That doesn't mean the Clarksons are automatically innocent, though. Humans don't always act out of self-interest, do they?
That mouth. You're starting to sound more and more like...
I wonder if, is it Penny? I wonder if her mom is the eldest daughter. It would be weird, because if she was trying to run away from the Clarkson family, she didn't get very far. But
my treasure...
Treasure? The treasure?
Now, whether you end up being an angel or a demon, I reckon you're the man I've been waiting for all this time.
That's a great line.
Once you finish that autopsy, and we're clear to take her home, I want you to give me a call.
They're phenomenal, Patty. So perfectly rural. Ominous statements, foul-mouthed insults. This town possesses a complicated system of communication that you just can't find in the city. Work-centric emails are so cold and lifeless.
In-person threats are much better.
This is what true human connections feel like. Connections as visceral as blood itself.
So, Agent York, what's next on your agenda?
The last boss may have gotten the jump on us, Patty, but I didn't let him shake my resolve. I intend to obey the skeletal gentleman's oracles, and that's that. First, we should head to either the home of the person who discovered Lisa's body, or to the town's medical facility. Well, Zach, what do you think?
We're going to visit the body first. Oh, hang on, let me... Yeah, Chuck or church. I tried to find the infirmary and it didn't do anything. There wasn't anything there, but I don't know. Also, as usual, it's about that time, getting paranoid that I didn't click the record button. Let me double check. Video's recording and audio's recording actively. Alright. I'm just a fool. What else is there? Okay, yeah, I don't know when I'm gonna get a chance to actually unpack all the news, because I imagine we're gonna be getting some, this is already unpacked. Also, is Dad here? Melvin? Does Melvin sell stuff? Wait, no, this is the sign from, okay, no, it is him.
Mr. York, what do you think of my castle? Pretty cool, ain't it?
Who's manning the desk?
I've been curious about it since the first time I saw it. You've got excellent taste, Melvin.
I dub it Blue Crawfish. I'll have you know, crawfish is pretty much its own food group in this town. Since this store carries all the bare necessities you'll need for daily life, I reckon it was an apt name. If it's sundries you're looking for, there ain't much you won't find here.
Okay, what do you got? It's just a general store. Cool. I got $1,000. I'm gonna go ahead and buy a first aid kit. If your inventory, yeah, we've got to bring the toolbox back. That's all right. Oh, did that fill up my inventory, or was my inventory already full? I can see I'm at 30 of 30. That's all right.
You ever need anything? You just come on by, Mr. York.
You're not only the sheriff of this town, you also manage a general store.
It feels like they couldn't make very many character models for this game, so they had to have characters perform multiple roles.
Sure, as long as you ring this bell here.
That's terribly convenient, Melvin. But I have one concern. What if a crime occurs while you're managing the store? Running a business and keeping the peace, both jobs require immediate response in times of crisis. I just can't see how it would be possible.
It's actually pretty easy, Mr. York.
No crime ever happens. What about the 2 murders, Melvin? Well, there's a first time for everything.
But what if a criminal who just robbed a bank came here on his way home and bought up all your stock?
Oh, I like the sound of that. You want to make me rich? Hey, how about you just buy up the whole store while you're at it? I'll never let money stand in my way. It's not the boss of me, for I am the last shopaholic. Ooh, I'm funny.
Melvin, that was a serious question.
Really? Could have fooled me. Not even the Clarksons would do something that crazy. No point in preparing for something that'll never happen, right? After all, this is Lucare, the tiny forgotten town in the middle of southern nowhere.
Get it, Zach? It's Occam's razor to a T. Melvin, I have to say,
yes,
you're a very
this game
balanced
does
man.
feel like Occam's razor to a T.
Now I feel confident that the Woods household will do just fine, even if you end up losing your job as town sheriff.
Is this part of the programming absolutely necessary? Do we need to cut down on that frame rate issue? No? Alright. Put it to market.
You sure are a joker, Mr. York.
Okay. Let's do a little bit of exploring. I don't know which one's... Oh wait, it has the number. M23 is what we're looking for. Oh, but that's so far away, but also I do want to do that. Okay, well, no. Let's get the Patty conversations out of the way since we're going to be running for a while. Yep, yes, talk.
It really seemed like you knew who Galena Clarkson was.
Well, I've never actually talked to her, but it's a small town. Pretty much all folks know who the Clarksons are. And Galena's supposed to be extra scary compared to the rest of them. Back when we saw her in town,
Patty. She's very dead now.
It felt like she was glaring right at me. So I got real scared. No one will come out and say it, but I'm pretty sure they're all relieved that she was the killer. We're lucky the killer ended up being a member of the Clarkson family. Otherwise, the whole town would have turned into a battlefield.
You've got a point, but did everyone really hate her that much?
They didn't hate her. She...
Oh, come on. That interrupts the conversation just to pick up some low-quality cloth?
You didn't even twitch when you saw Galena's body.
Alright, I guess we'll get back to that one later.
Dead things can't hurt us, right?
Girls your age don't usually think that way.
Do you have kids, Agent York?
No, I don't. I'm not married either.
Then you have no idea how girls my age usually think. Besides, I'm used to seeing dead bodies thanks to CSI. Especially dismembered corpses like hers. You know, for a so-called profiling professional, you're pretty clueless.
In that case, allow me to apologize. But don't you think it's a bit of a leap to discount my observational abilities simply because corpses don't scare you?
I don't know. I mean, you're completely wrong.
Do you know what I was thinking back there then?
Of course not. I'm not a pro.
The same goes for me, Patty. No manner of pro could ever know 100% of what another person is thinking. Unless, of course, that pro has a mental connection with them, like Zach and I have. If I was telepathic, I wouldn't have joined the FBI. I would have taken over a small country or become a messiah.
Now who's making crazy leaps?
I will admit, though, Patty, I feel like you and I have something in common. We definitely have similarities, even though they aren't as strong as the ones that Zach and I share.
Whatever.
Perhaps you and I grew up under similar circumstances.
I don't like
We're both
that.
Unique cases.
Huh? Unique
That's
cases?
our. I feel like
In your
it's
case,
been a week since
your
I last
beautiful
played.
mother's second husband became your daddy, but then your mama got sick, forcing you to take care of things, while you used CSI as your escape.
Would you just knock it off? I ain't trying to act like some tragic heroine here. And I don't care that my daddy isn't the same color as me. You're way more narrow-minded than I took you for, Agent York.
Narrow-minded? You're just realizing this now? Of course I'm narrow-minded. I'm a selfish man who lives life according to his own rules, with no interest in common sense. Naturally, this makes me terrible at reading situations, and I often end up angry.
Oh wow, I
at people
appreciate
like
he has the
total
self-awareness of
accidents.
that.
Is it really that big of a problem? I've still made a contribution to society by solving numerous difficult cases, and I'm still terribly charming.
That's true. Can't deny that.
And I'm still terribly charming.
You and I have absolutely nothing in common. What kind of circumstances does a kid even need to end up like you?
Try asking Zach. It's not my place to answer that one.
Fair enough. I feel like that's not the first time someone has already implied maybe Patty had something horrible happen to her in her childhood. And I don't like that. Okay, here are finally some killer bees we can take out. I shot the beehives earlier, but the bees didn't come out. Oh, we only got one there, I guess. I've exterminated one of 30 killer bees. Will more of you pop out if I shoot you? No, I don't understand. Like, where do the bees go when I shoot them? Anyways, let's keep it up, huh?
What else have you seen on that sci-fi movie channel?
Agent York, why are you asking me that?
Discussing movies is one of the most basic forms of communication in our country.
What time period do you live in?
It's always been that way in every era. In this country, all dialogues always begin from films.
What do you mean? Movies haven't even been around for more than like a century and a half.
Yeah.
Or less than that.
I'm gonna puke.
I know just what you need to do, Patty.
What?
Tell me what other movies you've seen on that sci-fi channel.
Ugh. You're so annoying. Fine, fine. I saw this one movie where a pretty lady and an old guy fight, and they were both robots.
Ah, Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines. 2003, directed by
Terminator
Jonathan
3
Mostow.
was
I knew you were an
2003?
Arnold S fan.
Oh, you said it again.
I feel like it was way earlier.
Whatever. I'm not a fan of his or anything, okay? He just happened to be in it.
So, what did you think?
I knew of the name Terminator, but it was my first time seeing one of those movies.
That's a rough one to
What?
start with.
You've never seen Terminator?
Well, the first two came out before I was even born.
I know, but come on. It's Terminator.
Boys probably like it, but I'm sure most girls don't give two craps about it.
Hey, now.
Oh, but I know
Don't
it was
disrespect
directed
Linda
by the same
Hamilton.
person who did Titanic.
Titanic. Oh, you mean Raise the Titanic. 1980, directed by Jerry Jameson. But he didn't direct Terminator. He's famous for Airport 77 and the Deadly Tower. You probably know this already, but the Deadly Tower was based on the 1966 Texas Tower sniper incident. I learned about it at the FBI Academy in Quantico. In the film, Kurt Russell plays Charles Joseph Whitman, the assailant. He really brought the character to life with an awe-inspiring performance. What's wrong, Patty? I'm just trying to talk about Terminator 3, that movie you saw, but you're not paying any attention. So be it. If you're not in the mood to talk, then let's return to the investigation. It's a shame, though. We really wanted to hear more about the films you saw, didn't we, Zach?
We've still got time. Oh, no. Is that it? It would be amazing if in, like, the last couple chapters she starts whistling along.
That melody always gets stuck in my head.
Yes, it's a devilish song, isn't it?
Just be quiet.
That's great. Alright, here we are at the... What is this? Is a shipping container? Like, this is a step below trailer park. Swamp tours, business hours, Monday to Thursday, 1 to 8 p.m. Closed Sundays. Tour area, Tompkins Farm. I guess. Are we fighting some gators today, boys?
Okay, Zach. It's time to put our skills to the test.
Oh, is it skateboard time, rather? Well, what about Patty? Is she just gonna... No! That's the end of the scene. They made a whole special cutscene just for that.
Well, Zach, it seems as if we've reached an impasse. I'm afraid we won't be able to proceed any further like this.
Akari Tiger to DC Eagle. Is everything alright?
Hello, Melvin. Sadly, my darling just gave out on me.
Your darling? You mean?
Your daughter. No, the skateboard, sorry.
Yes, that's right. My beloved skateboard.
Patty tripped and her ankle's broken. I'm sure she'll be fine, but you might want to get over here.
I know the chances are slim, but do you happen to know of any establishments in town that can repair skateboards? Please, I hope this doesn't offend you. Neither Zach nor I would ever dare to assume that a remote country town like this would have a skateboard shop in it. But perhaps you have at least one eccentric who likes to tinker with them in their spare time.
I know just the person. Double bass player by night, trick master by day. God blessed her with two talents, and her name is Emma Sanders.
Emma?
That's right. She's Pastor Sanders' adopted daughter, and was also Lisa Clarkson's best friend. Emma really knows her stuff. She's got tools and a mountain of parts, so I'm sure she'll be able to help.
I owe you one, Melvin. Zach, I never thought we'd find our very own skateboard mentor out here in the sticks. Let's head straight to Emma.
All right.
What is it, Zach? Why didn't I just ask the sheriff to tow away the old cars? But isn't it obvious? I want to overcome this obstacle using my own strength.
By asking other people for help.
In fact, I want to soar over it.
Get it repaired by Emma, your skateboard mentor. Alright. I know she's even further. Maybe we do have to go to the clinic first, because that's far away. Yeah, okay. Yeah, and Quest 23 isn't even on the map anymore. Alright. Well, should we keep going?
Patty, what's that?
That tree? Or the water tower?
That thing I'm pointing at. That.
Like I said, what?
That thing. Right there, Patty.
Just tell me what it is. How am I supposed to know which that you're referring to? Ugh, you're goofing on me, ain't you?
Alright, I think we've exhausted all the long-form ones. Whoa, you're right there.
So you clearly love TV shows, but what about movies?
Movies? We don't even have a movie theater around here.
I think we've already heard this
So
one.
I can only watch what I manage to catch on TV.
Like what?
For some reason, the only movie
Oh, we've
channel
definitely
we get
gotten
at
this
home
one
is the
before.
sci-fi one. So I just watch a lot of sci-fi.
Like what? What's the last one you saw?
The one with Schwarzenegger, where there's all these
Can't use
clones.
my skateboard,
The Sixth Day,
but I can't
2000,
interrupt. I can't interrupt
directed
her
by
by
Roger
going through
Spottiswoode.
people's
You
mailboxes.
must be very well versed in sci-fi if you can appreciate an Arnold S. film.
I thought it was way too easy for them to make more clones. And you'd never see
Oh,
a
no, that
clumsy
doesn't-
investigation like
that
that
doesn't
in
stop it.
CSI.
That's right. It's realistic. Everything about that film is so realistic. It may be difficult for a child to understand. But, Patty, that's not your fault. All of Arnold S.'s films are filled with hyper-realism, you know. On top of that, Roger Spottiswoode is a director who excels in dealing
Man, now I
with
wish
hardcore
they'd shut up
subject
so I could
matter.
actually get to the
Turner and
news.
Hooch, Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. Each film features one of the toughest tag teams you'll ever find. I can see why it's beyond you, though.
No, what I'm trying to say is...
Maybe if I just... Oh, yeah, I can just punch. Okay. So... Has to do with, presumably, Professor R, unless I hugely misinterpreted that first conversation. There's a different transgender character in the game. But yeah, 20 miles. Let's start with the bad news. You kind of have to. Swery tweeted out this week a message saying, I have been hearing feedback, and I have heard, I understand now that a scene I have written offended people in the transgender community. I apologize for this. This is my mistake. And yeah, so that sucks. I assume it wasn't the scene we've already seen, because while there was some transgender or transphobic language from Melvin, York, the main protagonist, York, immediately admonished him for it. So I would assume that's not the problem. I would assume it is a scene where the character in question is actually present. So that's a bummer. That's sad. However, going to... Okay, look, alright, please don't start the cutscene. Please don't. I need to... Okay.
Hey, Agent York.
1 second there, Patty. I need to deliver some exposition. The good news is that included in the same message, Swery said, I am rewriting this scene right now. I am going to have 10 different people from a diverse background, from diverse different backgrounds, look at it and make sure that it is improving and is fixing the problem. We are going to get this into the game as soon as possible. And I think that is a wonderful response. I think it says a lot about Swery that in a game chock full with mechanical problems, horrible frame rates, side quests not showing up on the map even though the tutorial says that they should be showing on the map, like minute-long loading screens. I appreciate that out of all the feedback Swery is getting, he heard that and decided, okay, that takes priority. I need to fix that as soon as possible. I think that says a lot about who Swery is. I think he really does care. I am, of course, disappointed to hear he did not really get it right on the first try. But the fact that he is willing and not just willing, like actively trying to redo it so that the problem is fixed, I think is very commendable. That being said, I restarted the Switch, I restarted the Deadly Premonition 2 software, and there were no updates yet. So, depending on how far we get in the game, we may still get the old version of that scene, and I am very, like, I am honestly very worried. But, if we ever do get to that scene and there's something really cringy and bad in there, just know that Swery is aware that it was bad and is now trying to fix it. And I kind of hope we don't, whatever the scene is in question, he mentioned it was a singular scene, and I'm hoping that we don't actually get there and that I can get the patch before then, because I don't want to see a transphobic scene in a video game I'm really enjoying. That's not fun. And I also want to respect the fact that Swery is changing it, and hopefully, I'm just saying, hopefully we get the patch before we get to the scene in question. But yeah, if we do get to the scene, I will definitely put in the video description if there are like trigger warnings or anything, or just in general transphobic sentiments. I'll make sure to put that in there. But fingers crossed that Swery can get that scene completely rewritten and up and patched before we get there. So yeah, I feel like in KOTOR 2, you know how you can, like, in the course of a single conversation, you can get dark side points and light side points, and then, like, sometimes it'll be like, it'll say light side points gained, dark side points gained, light side point net shift gain. I feel like that's what happened with Swery. He was like, I'm gonna, I did a really bad thing, but I'm gonna try really hard to make up for it. And I feel like he gets not as many points as if he just, like, was careful and, like, really did, like, approach the topic with all the sensitivity it should have in the first place. He earned a couple of dark side points because apparently he screwed something up pretty bad, but he gains a couple of light side points back because he is genuinely trying to fix it, and I think that's cool. Anyways, I don't think that'll be in this scene. We're visiting the clinic. Yes, Patty, what would you like to say? Sorry about that tangent.
Just so you know, dealing with Pastor Sanders is gonna be a big pain in the butt.
A big pain in the butt?
That's what I said. But I guess you have no choice but to obey your oracle, huh?
That's correct. Is this a different entry? No, this is the same entrance. Why couldn't I, like, access anything? Maybe there was just, since there was no plot stuff happening at the clinic, I wasn't allowed to do anything there last time. I really should have waited for one of the super long loading screens to give that whole spiel.
They soup folks up with medicine, cut them up, and then they try and act like they're your friends. Something ain't right about that, you know. It goes against the laws of nature. Plus, this is a church, so you got a pastor, a servant of God, actually playing God with his patients.
I think you have a point there, Patty. These days, we can neither determine death nor reproduce without the help of modern medicine. Yeah, our world's become quite an unnatural one. Oh, excuse me.
Hello, you're a stylish person.
This is Lucare. You need to watch where you're going, or someone might end up tripping you.
Zach, it's her. The stylish woman who watched Lise die.
Don't say that too loudly. I don't know if you want her to hear that.
I've been waiting for you, lost lamb.
Hi there, Pastor. Would you mind letting go of me? I'm in a bit of a hurry right now.
So pitiful. The Lord hungers.
Here we go again.
What?
Pitiful. Truly pitiful, my little lamb.
No, neither Zack nor I.
Oh, so pitiful. So pitiful, just pitiful.
I'm waiting
The
to see where this
Lord
goes.
hungers. 1 can of spam, 1 can of red beans, and 1 can of spinach. You are to offer up the taboo trinity.
I
Taboo?
see.
Don't you mean the holy?
Oh, how I pity you. Unlike us humans, the Lord never errs. Now, my pitiful agent, bring forth the taboo trinity at once. For it is the will of the Lord our God.
See? I told you this was gonna be a pain in the butt.
But Zack and I need to go after that stylish woman.
Too late now. We need to obey God's will.
The Lord hungers.
Come on, hurry it up. We need to go.
Well, Zack, I don't know what to say. First an oracle, and now an order from God? Maybe this is the trial that will yield the ticket to the goddess. Either way, it looks like we have no choice but to gather the taboo trinity. I guess it just goes to show that small towns are always filled with the bizarre and unpredictable.
Or alternatively, we could just go after the woman. Alright, we got through one scene that technically had the character in it, and I didn't feel like there was anything offensive there. So that's the progress. She was in the scene for like 15 seconds, but... Why are we visiting the infirmary again? I don't even remember. Anyways, what is the, I can't even remember the word for it. But what's the... it's not pittance. But that thing where all the popes and bishops back in like the Middle Ages would be like, oh, you want me to forgive your sin? Well, God wants you to give me $50. Then he'll be on board with you. It's so ridiculous. This is not quite as bad, but well, actually, with the prices of food in these games, maybe it will be that bad. I don't know. We'll see. Will it be more than $50 to buy spinach, red beans, and I don't even remember the third one.